Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco 2. Today we've got two games for you, Exeter and Middlesbrough, both at home in League One await us. Now since you last here, there have been positives and there have been negatives. I suppose we'll start off with the negatives, which is our form has been absolutely dreadful, as you can see. Really not been very good since we started the season at all. The positive is though, our form has been absolutely dreadful, so it can only get better from here. And it does kind of suggest that we are going to be in a relegation battle this season, as opposed to last season when we thought it was going to be a relegation battle, but got promoted instead. So it was a bit of a topsy-turvy season last year. This season looks a little bit more straightforward in terms of our results. The only way is upwards now, I've got to say, from this. And hopefully we do have the quality to turn it around and not get relegated. You were last here then for the largely positive game, actually, against Hull. We lost it 1-0 very late on, but we were the dominant side in that game, and I was really pleased with it, thinking we played phenomenally well. We then went to Bristol Rovers, though, and lost it 3-0 in a game which we never looked like winning, never looked like getting anything out of. Bristol Rovers just walked all over us, basically. That's what they did. They were superb in that game. We were rubbish. Deserved the 3-0 loss. We then came up against Wigan, the side that we beat in the playoffs last season in the Carabao Cup first round. Lost it 3-1 at home. We didn't play very well at all, to be fair. It was 1-1 for quite a while, or 0-0. It was 0-0 for a long time. Then it was 1-1 for quite a while, until they sort of came into their own in the final 10 minutes or so and decided that they were going to get revenge on us for us beating them last season in the playoffs. So that was a bit frustrating, but we did bounce back straight away with a 3-1 win over Burton Albion. Tony Russell and Dylan Monk picking up the goals in that game, which was really nice to see. Dylan Monk, the new striker, getting a brace. I was really pleased with that. We were brought back down to reality, though, against Notts County. They beat us 3-0. And to be fair, we didn't actually play that badly in this game. We conceded the 2 goals in the first 15 minutes. We really just didn't switch on that first 15. But for the rest of the game, it was pretty even. They scored a penalty, which you can't really be too upset about. And actually, the person who gave the penalty away was Jake Webb, the young left back we brought in. He's played 2 games, I think, so far this season, and in both games given away a penalty. So he's not had a great start to his life with Lincoln United. In fact, it's been so good, I have accepted a bid from FC United to take away from us on loan, because I can't be dealing with more penalties being given away by him. After Notts County, we travelled to Blackburn, lost it 2-0. A very similar story, we just didn't switch on for the first 15-20 minutes or so. The rest of the game, we were probably on par with them, but the first 15 or so minutes, we just didn't switch on. We then went to Millwall, who was sitting top of the table, expecting to get battered, but actually came away with a 0-0 draw, and we looked like the better side in that game. So I was kind of pleased with that. I was pleased to keep a clean sheet for a change, but we haven't really scored. We scored 4 goals all season, which is quite poor. None of them scored by Mark Mason either, which is a little bit of a worry. One of those goals came in the cup against Wigan. The other 3 came against Burton in the league. So only 3 league goals. That is very, very worrying. We did get 2 more goals though, but this was another cup game, this time against Everton in the Carabao Cup. We left it pretty late. Patrick Marshall, new chap who's come in recently, the new striker, or one of the new strikers I should say, he got the goal alongside Sean Hawkins, the chap we've got on loan from Birmingham. So a good little display there against some promising young players from Everton, but I'd rather have 3 points in the league than a win in the Carabao Cup, if I'm being honest with you. So 1 win, 2 draws, 4 losses. Early doors, it puts us 23rd in the table after 7 games, which isn't the best, but plenty of teams on 5 points, plenty of teams on 6 points, and plenty of teams on 7, 8, 9 points. So 2 wins today, we could be right out of this and back in sort of mid-table battle. 2 more transfers to tell you about. Josh Coley is back at the club. He's settled his differences. He wanted £1,200 per week for a contract renewal last season, to the point where we just couldn't negotiate with him. We let him go, and he's come back for us asking £500 per week less. So it was a good deal for us in the long run. We did lose him for a little while temporarily. He didn't get a pre-season with us, but he's on a cheap deal now, or cheaper deal than he wanted at least. And hopefully he'll be decent on that left-hand side of the pitch, although he's not really cut out for this level. The other transfer that we brought in is Reese Hilton, another striker. We've got 4 strikers who are at the club, another one out on loan. So 5 strikers at the club is quite a lot, but I think we need it, to be fair, because we haven't been scoring goals. So we need to have a few different options up there. Reese Hilton, interestingly, is a target man, something we've not had for a long, long time, but can also play anywhere along that attacking midfield. He came in from Crawley on a free transfer, had been at Blackpool and Birmingham before that. Not really got a great scoring history or assist history. So if I'm being honest with you, I'm not quite sure what he has to offer, but we needed extra cover in that attacking midfield and striker positions, and he was available. So there we go. So all our games so far this season have been with the 4-4-2. And as you can see, results haven't exactly been in our favour. So I thought today we're going to switch back to the 4-1-4-1 and see how we do against Exeter. In terms of relegation battle, today's game against Exeter is must win because they sit just above us. In fact, they're 22nd in the table or 23rd in the table. So this really is a relegation 6-pointer. Your lineup today is Jed Andrew in goal, of course, with McGinley, Porter, Dan Happy and Atkinson as that backline. Not changed since last episode. We've changed things in between episodes, but that's the exact same backline as it was against Hull. In the CDM position is Nwanko on the ground. I mean, I've said that completely wrong, haven't I? Well, not wrong, really. It does have wank in his name, so I have said Nwanko right. I've just not quite decided how I want to pronounce it in videos yet. Genuinely feel if I say wank in this video too many times, and the monetization could be under scrutiny from YouTube. We did bring in Ruben Samut to actually play in that CDM position, but unfortunately he's on international duty with Malta, so he can't play for us right now. He's off in Malta playing football, so fair play. But just in front of the new CDM guy that we've got in there, that we've not decided how to say his name yet, we've got Muggeridge and Hawkins, which was the same as last episode, I believe, as well. Coley coming back on the left-hand side of the pitch with Russell on the right. That's unchanged from last season. And we're going to give Mark Mason another go. In 5 league appearances, he hasn't scored a goal yet. Whereas if we look down here, where is he? Dylan Monk, he scored the only 2 league goals of the season. Actually, Russell got one as well. But Monk currently has 66% of our league goals this season, which is a little bit worrying, I've got to say. But he's the guy who has been scoring goals. So really, we should probably be playing Monk. But I love Mason and I can't not play him. So here we go. Right then, kickoff is upon us here today. We're at home. Exeter have travelled all the way up from the south coast to come to Lincoln today. So hopefully they'll be really tired and fatigued from their journey. And all we have to do is just put the ball in the back of the net a few times, pick up some 3 points. It does look like as well, I think, actually, looking at the table, right, okay, it doesn't matter too much. We have just moved up to 20th, but we're going to drop back down to 23rd now as Exeter have taken the lead rather. We are only a handful of games taking part at the moment. Unfortunately, we are going to drop back to 24th now, technically, because who else is down there? Southend are currently drawing. So we do drop down to the bottom of the table as things stand, which is really, really nice. It will be very worrying if we can't get a foothold in today's game against Exeter. Exeter, by looks of things, from early season form, are a team that we will be fighting for in the relegation battle. So if they walk all over us, which they kind of are at the moment, that's going to be very worrying as they've got a free kick put into the area which has found its way into the back of the net again. Exeter now 2-0 up. Not what you want to see. Highlight straight from the kickoff though. Have we got a chance to come forward as McGinley gets on the ball? Coley coming forward, it puts it across to Russell in a lot of space. Russell to put the cross in. Oh, he doesn't. And here come Exeter. Is this going to be a 3rd goal for Exeter now as they come forward? Great tackle from our CDM there as McGinley now picks the ball up. We try and come back through the middle of the pitch, although we probably should try and use the wings. I think they're quite central with their formation as McGinley comes forward, puts it in towards Coley. I've got a pop-up from Apple telling me to update something that's come up. Atkinson on the ball, into Mark Mason, cleared, but only as far as Muggeridge. McGinley into Russell. Russell puts it in the back of the net for his 2nd goal of the season. The winger on loan from Norwich, grabbing another goal this season. Hopefully he's going to be on fire this season, but I'd rather see Mason grab the goals, if I'm honest with you. So we are just about back in the game, in touching distance still with Exeter. They are still dominating the stats though, so we need to do something in the second half, and it might be dropping back to the 4-4-2, or maybe even going to a 4-3-3. That could also be an option for us in the second half. Either way, hopefully the second half is going to be better for us. I think we'll give it until 55 minutes, and then we'll maybe change formation if nothing significant happens. To be fair, I don't think anything significant is going to happen. So I think we go to the 4-4-3 because the 4-4-2 is not particularly worked. So not the 4-4-3, the 4-3-3, I should say. We'll switch to that, sorry. We'll have Mason on one side as a pressing as an advance forward. We'll bring Dylan Monk on the other side as the other advance forward. And then Reese Hilton will come on. I think he's going to be more of a target man, rather than a pressing forward. Target man on support. Now we just sort of decide what to do in the middle. What do these guys want to do? He wants to be a central midfielder on defend. Okay, you can do that, my friend. And we could have a deep line playmaker. Yeah, let's go for a deep line playmaker. Let's do that. Deep line playmaker on support. Everyone's kind of doing what they want to do apart from our fullbacks. Jed Andrew can go back to being a sweeper keeper on defend just because he likes that slightly better. But they're the 2 changes that we'll make. Both the wingers off, Hilton and Monk up front, and change of shape. Hopefully, in the next half hour or so, we'll grab 2 more goals. We do have a chance now coming forward as the ball is just about retained from the throw in there as Wankwo. I mean, I'm not going to say his name properly ever. I mean, I'm going to just snigger to myself every time that he gets on the ball pretty much. As Mason on the edge of the area shoots, hits the crossbar. That's more like the Mason that we've been used to. Although he usually puts it in the back of the net rather than hitting the crossbar, if I'm honest with you, actually. So perhaps it's not quite the Mason we're used to. But he is on the ball again, looking more likely he's going to score in this episode than he has before. He puts a superb ball into Monk, and that is a superb save from their goalkeeper. But the 4-4-3, suddenly chances are being created left, right and centre for us as our CDM, or now central midfielder, puts the ball into the middle, cleared. I reckon we've got a chance. I really think we've got a chance now of getting something out of this game. Let's move up to very attacking. And let's also go for well, we can't say it yet because I did it a few minutes ago. So we'll wait for it and do another push forward from the lad. There we go. Push forward then. We've got 15 minutes to get ourselves a point at least from this game. We've overtaken them in the stats now as well. So this 4-3-3 is really working quite well. The throw-in is cleared, but we do manage to regain possession as Porter puts out to McGinley. McGinley, surrounded by players, not really doing an awful lot, but gets it to Muggeridge, to be fair. Hawkins can't quite get onto it. It's cleared. And now Exeter on the counter-attack have got bodies coming into the middle. Porter gives away a penalty. And I think perhaps if they score this, although Jed Andrew is phenomenal at saving penalties, which he has done again, never in doubt, never ever in... It's just a shame that he concedes goals from open play all the time, because from penalties he is absolutely superb. He's kept us in this game still, and I still think we can get a point out of this. Mason with a chance to counter-attack now as well as we come forward. Mason tackled, and that's going to be that. Come on, 5 minutes to go, and I'm really not sure what else I can do out there to grab a goal. I just don't know what we can do, and I don't think we're going to be able to do it as the clock does tick down. A game that I think we probably deserve the point from, at least, if I'm honest with you. I think, again, just very early on, we switch off. We just aren't prepared for these games at the moment. We just don't seem to be that side that are just ready from the off. We take 20 minutes or so to get going, and it's cost us in a few games so far this season already. I'm not too disappointed with that. Not too disappointed, but I think we do switch that 4-3-3, because once we change to that, we were insane. We do, though, drop to the bottom of the table with that result, but if Fleetwood and Coventry lose by a couple of goals, they'll go below us on goal difference. So we could actually go up despite not playing and still not winning a game for a while. I saw Muggeridge pick up just a slight injury at the very end of that game. Turns out he's pulled his knee ligaments and he's going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks. So that's going to be a bit of a shame, to be fair. But we do have enough central midfielders to fill the gaps and in this 4-3-3 that we might be going for in the next few games or so. Next up, though, Middlesbrough in 6th in the table. Going for a 4-3-3 against them might not be the best solution to our problems, because by nature the 4-3-3 is very attacking. We're bottom of the table against a team that are very nearly at the top of the table. It doesn't really make sense, but maybe they're not expecting us to do that at all. So maybe they just won't set up for it, and maybe it will work. Maybe. Oh, Kenise Carroll, he's not been playing games. That's obviously why he's upset. He's come to us to say he's been down. What's up, lad? What's the matter? Please don't go into depth with me. Just say something like, thank you. I can't pretend I'm not a bit concerned about my lack of playing time, but it means a lot that you've taken time to come and talk to me and speak to me about it. I feel much better. I'll be on my way now. Brilliant. That's all we want. Keep our players happy by just asking them if they're okay. And they won't. That's such a bloke thing as well. Are you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. Well, really, they're not fine. But neither of you go on and say, let's have a conversation about it. Which really, to be fair, there should be conversations about it, because it's a big issue, I suppose, isn't it, actually? I think it's an issue that goes unnoticed. Depression, specifically in blokes and things like that. I don't know if this is quite on the same level. I think I'm getting a bit deeper, to be fair. He's just upset he's not playing football games. I'm talking, it's probably a bit more serious, to be fair, but there's definitely something to be said about that. So here's a challenge, all right? It's not a challenge. It shouldn't be a challenge at all. But if there's someone in your friendship group you're not spoken to for quite a while, and you're like, oh, what's going on with them? And you've not heard from them, send them a message now. I mean, be like, watch this video, and then plug me, and but then also ask them if they're all right. Right, here we are then for the Middlesbrough game. Switching to the 4-3-3. Russell and Coley, get yourselves off the pitch. Monk comes on then. Mason is going to switch over. We're also going to bring on down here. So where is he? Oh yeah, Marshall down there. We'll bring Marshall on because he's a proper pressing forward and slightly better than Hilton as well. So they're our best 3 strikers on the pitch. We need to bring on Brunt for Muggeridge. He can come on. He can be the advanced or deep line playmaker, sorry, on support, which is absolutely fine. We will actually bring this chap back to be slightly more defensive, just because I think we'll probably need to be against Middlesbrough. But going into the game, I'm happy with this. I think this is going to be a good opportunity to show ourselves and show ourselves in a good light. So hopefully it goes to plan. Will it though? I don't know. Is probably going to be the answer. Right then, kickoff is upon us. Middlesbrough are not going to be expecting our 4-3-3 highly. And actually, we should probably go from balanced up to attacking as well. Really make the most of it. Let's go for it. Let's go for the formation. They're really not going to be expecting us. They'll be expecting us to park the bus. But no. We're going to go all guns blazing for this game, and it's already paying off because there's already a highlight coming for Middlesbrough. And to be fair, it's going to be their first shot of the game, and we've held off for 7-8 minutes without conceding a shot. So to be fair, it's worked better than it has in previous fixtures because normally we're 2-0 down by 15 minutes. Maybe a chance for us now as we get the ball in the midfield as Brunt on the ball has a shot from distance, to be fair, and Yoko Ono in goal there, whatever he's called. He decides to save it, puts it out for a corner, and our Yoko Ono, whatever you want to call him, puts the ball in. Mason heads it just wide. Still not scored a goal yet, which is a little bit worrying, I've got to say. We could do with a big win today. We really could do with a win to take us off the bottom of the table. It's very, very hard to get off the bottom of the table once you're settled there. If you're there for a while, likely scenario is you're probably going to finish there. It takes a lot of team effort, a lot of team harmony, and some really good performances to actually get yourself off the bottom of the table. Cross comes in, it's bounced around the area, bounces clear in the end, but by looks of things, I think we've had some of the better chances in today's game rather than Middlesbrough, so maybe this 4-3-3, there's something to it. Half-time though, 0-0, I'll take that. That's a thoroughly positive scoreline at half-time. We seem to do alright against teams at the top, to be fair. Well, for the most part. Crew are up there in 8th. We drew against them. We're currently drawing against Middlesbrough, and we drew against Millwall as well. So, I mean, to be fair, some of these top teams we're doing all right against. It's for teams down here like Exeter that we just seem to lose to for some reason or other. I don't know why, but you know what? We're giving it a good shot today, and I'm pleased with how the boys are playing. We do, though, need to make some changes out there. Dylan Monk not playing particularly well up front, so it's time to give Hilton a chance out there. We'll swap him and Marshall around. I think Marshall quite likes to be an advanced forward. No, he just likes to be a pressing forward. Making a pressing forward on attack, at least. And then we're going to bring Hilton on as that target man on support, I think, just as well. Although we've not really got anyone putting balls into the box, have we? So maybe he should become like a false 9. That might be a little bit more suitable to the system we're playing. Tell you what, we'll give Kenise Carroll a game as... I tell you what, we'll give Kenise Carroll a go as well. Mitch Atkinson at the back, not playing particularly well at all at right back. So we're going to bring on Carroll, give him a game. Hopefully he'll be a little bit happier for it. Tell you what, for the final 20 minutes, we're going to say get creative out there. It's still 0-0. It's still anyone's game. We could still get a pretty decent result here. Middlesbrough, by the way, brought 2,000 fans as well, which is pretty decent. 1,200 of those fans are our own then. So that's a slight increase in our attendance, or our general home attendance, I think. Last season, I think we got about 1,000 home fans regularly. This season up by 200 or so, which is quite good. With 5 minutes to go, though, deadlock doesn't look like it's going to be broken. We'll say push forward out there. We'll maybe... Oh, we've got a free kick on the edge of the area. It's in the back of the net. Joseph... Whatever we want to call him. I've still not really decided. Nankwo, Wanko, Wanky, maybe something like that. I don't know. Think of a good nickname and we'll call him that. But he scored the free kick in the dying moments of the game, and we are going to pick up our second win of the season. This time, though, it's against Middlesbrough, which is huge. Pulls us off the top of the table as well, and that could be very, very important come the end of the season. Oh, what a great way to end the episode, that. We're off the bottom of the table, still in the relegation zone, but on 8 points now. And we're back in line with some of these teams above us. So hopefully a few good results will be out of that relegation zone in no time. Nanko, Nanky, Wanky, whatever we're going to... This chap, he's put in another classy performance apparently. We'll give him a praise. We'll say well done on the number of chances he created. He's really happy with that. So that's fantastic stuff. The 4-3-3 then, I reckon that's the way to go as Cardiff are looking at for Mitch Atkinson or Mick Atkinson. who is our best player, I think, to be fair. He's probably one of the only players that is, well, it says League 2 there. Other scouts and coaches say he's League 1 current ability, but has potential to be Championship. Is currently valued at £40,000. I reckon we could get six figures for him if Cardiff really want to swoop in for him, who are in the Premier League, to be fair. So we could really try and charge a premium if they really want him that badly. Next episode then, I reckon we're going to go for the Wimbledon game, who are sitting 24th in the table, and Coventry, who are sitting 21st. So next episode is going to be a real big game and episode in terms of the relegation battle, as far as I'm aware at least. If these two teams are still down there and we're still down there, it's going to be huge. So thank you very much for watching today's episode. If you've enjoyed it, please do drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And I'll see you next time for some more Lincoln Loco action.